Does it end with a worldwide revolution and a global government? Does it end? Well, what does it end with in your book? 0845 6060 973 is the number. Also this morning, well, this is a strange subject. It's a strange subject because I'm not taking a firm view on this, but I am an advocate of personal responsibility in a big way. In fact, I would say that the reason I'm sat here now is because my life completely changed when I stopped blaming other people and started blaming myself for the situations I found myself in. And it's hard to explain to someone who doesn't really know what you got, is not really in the same position as you, or has not been in the same difficult position as you in life and has had that kind of revelation and suddenly gone, hang on, it's not everyone else's fault my life's a mess, it's my fault. And that's a huge revelation, and it's a bit tricky to explain, in the confines of a radio show. But people who've been through, that know what I'm talking about. Suddenly the moment when you go, hang on, if I take responsibility for my problems, I can fix my problems. People who've been through that know where I'm coming from here. So when I ask you, should you blame the unemployed for being unemployed? Understand where I'm coming from. I'm coming from the position where my life was an absolute mess. I was sat in a flat that was going to be repossessed. The whole thing was gone completely wrong. And, I think it was a self-help book. I was reading this self-help book and I suddenly thought, yeah, that's right. It is all my fault. And that really changed things for me. Now, turn that on its head and look at this idea of telling unemployed people to get on your bike, which is where Lord Tebbit was coming from in 1981. And ask yourself the question, should you blame the unemployed for being unemployed? Or is that completely the wrong way of going about it? 0845 6060 973 is the number. What's kicked this off is the idea that jobless people are going to be allowed to swap their council homes and find work in other parts of the country. And the idea is that basically the unemployed can become more mobile, take responsibility for their situation, up sticks and move. I mean, do you think that's a good idea in and of itself? 0845 6060 973 is the number. Oh, and also, we've been talking about schools that take the dramatic step of banning skirts outright because some of the children can't wear long enough skirts. They don't seem to be able to behave themselves. So some schools have said, all right, what we're going to do, it's trousers for everybody. How about that? Stick that on your nose. Do you think that's the right attitude? What really are you teaching children if you tell them that wearing skirts sends out the wrong message? 0845 6060 973 is the number. Let's go to the phone lines. Enfield. Wayne, you're on LBC 97.3.
Good morning, Nick.
Now then.
Oh, mate, yeah, I was just following up to talk to you about the job seekers allowance, basically. I heard your previous caller, and I think that fella off the bat, he totally contradicted himself within one phone call to you. He went from saying that, as you said, like the system, he's given up and the system's won the battle, to go in like he's given himself the I have a dream speech towards the end, and he's somehow miraculously he's going to go back out there now and become a cabbie.
I agree with you. I think there was a bit of a contradiction there. But then again, I didn't want to put him off because, I think that's great that he's doing that. I think and I wish him well.
Yeah, no, look, don't get me wrong. I wish him all the best in the world, and I really hope that things go great for him. But for his wife to leave and go to another country for work, I think that was a bit drastic.
Difficult for him, yeah.
Yeah, my argument is, I was on job seekers allowance, and this was a long time ago. I think it was when it first came out, and I was on it for I think about 2 months, and I just thought this is ridiculous. It was something like £43 a week, and you can't in this day and age you can't buy anything. You can't survive on £43.
No.
And it was, you just said yourself there a minute ago. I kind of just had that conversation myself. It's like, you better get up, you better do something about this, or it's never going to get better. And if I can do that, I think I was about 21 at the time, and I'd just come out of college. And to be honest, I was quite naive. I still am. But if I can do that, anybody can, and that's why I don't really have much sympathy for these people. It's there as a safety net. It's not there as a continuous and consistent supply. You know, it should be, in my opinion, should be a time limit on there, which there is now. They're saying, after so many months, I think it's 6 months. I think it was David Cameron saying that he wants to push people back out and to get more jobs. Because, like, they give them not so much of the option. I can't remember.
Then again, well, sorry to interrupt, Wayne, but let's just go the other way with this, because I mean, unemployment currently running at a 17-year high, 2.57 million, the highest level for 17 years. I mean, surely something to do with the system is happening there, no?
No, I agree. I do agree, but it's just. It means that the hill's slightly steeper. It doesn't mean that it's impossible. It just means you're going to have to roll your sleeves up and get stuck in. There's no if buts or maybes about it. I don't know if it was yourself that said it's either, you use a binary way of thinking.
Yeah.
Not so long ago. Yeah, you either sit there on off or you switch yourself on. It is as simple as that, and I'm sick and tired of hearing it from myself. I hear from people that are on job seeker allowance, and it's always my personal opinion, and I spoke to your producer before, in my personal opinion, I found everybody I speak to who's on job seeker allowance, the same self-pitying, moping attitude, I thought I got laid off. Well, go and get a job. I have a job. I'm lucky. I work for London Underground, and I have a good job. And I have had that job thanks to being on job seekers allowance. I went to the job centre myself. I spoke to the woman in there. She said to me, what job would you like? I said, no, what job do you have? It doesn't matter whether it's sweeping the streets or flying aeroplanes. What jobs do you have? I'm not here. I don't have that luxury. Otherwise, if I did have that luxury, I wouldn't be sat here. And I took a job there and then for a telecommunications company, which is gone now. And I went from there to London Underground. And
Wayne, let me tell you something. You're great. I am agreeing with every single word that you're uttering. This is annoying for me because I do like to have a bit of a disagreement with people. I think it makes the conversation interesting, but I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, no, I mean,
Nick, it just frustrates me when I hear these people. I feel sorry for some people, yes. Sometimes people do get made redundant. It does happen, and that is why the system is there. As I said, it's a safety net. You do fall off sometimes, but you dust yourself down and you get back on. But unfortunately, people in this day and age, they seem to just, in this day and age, like I'm not that old. I'm only 29. I know I'm not a spring chicken, but at the same time, like, if I can have that mental attitude to just get up and get on with it, it's not easy. You said yourself, life is it's hard. And I hate to, quote a Rocky movie, but I remember watching Rocky, and it's actually, in the Rocky film, he says, nobody hits harder than life, and it's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep on moving forward. That's how winning is done. And it is a fantastic line that I use a lot. And I think, all right, today has been a terrible day. But it's not about how hard I hit the world hit me, but don't worry, I'll get up tomorrow and I'll just keep coming back.
You know what, Lee? Me and you are on exactly the same page with this. There's a quote. What is it? It's not about how high you go. It's how high you bounce after you hit rock bottom, baby. And when I do hit hard times, I get uber cheesy. You wouldn't believe it, but I really do. And you mentioned Rocky. I'll get all the kind of 80s rock music. I'll go out jogging, Survivor, Eye of the Tiger, all of that. Because you know what? You may as well just get cheesy with it and get as optimistic as you can, because that's the only way. What do you think? Pessimists walked on the moon? Of course not. Optimists walked on the moon. Wayne in Enfield can't agree with you more. Brilliant call. Okay, so with his thoughts in mind, is there anyone really who disagrees with that perspective? Surely not. 0845 6060 973 is the number. You're listening to LBC 97.3, and I'm asking you, should you blame the unemployed for being unemployed? Talk to you in a second.